from our recess. A couple of the members of the public who came late asked if they could speak. They said they'd keep it brief. Is it okay if we allow them to drive all the way?
Sure.
Can you just state your name?
Yeah, my name is Lance Conley, and I own Atomic Truck and Equipment in Nelliston, and I'm one of the lien filers against that piece of property with the Patterson. The other one's Donnie here, and I'm speaking for him too. I just, while Ken was here, I was hoping that I would get an opportunity to bring up to the board the fact that he had said that if there's other things going on with the property, like a quitclaim deed doesn't stop you from having a problem if there's been a conveyance of property going forward from them to somebody else. Part of what I got for doing my part down at that property was a conveyance of property, a lifetime marina slip, and a camping spot. It was intended to be a marina. Ken brought up the fact that this place was only worth $54,000, and a good businessman would not put $300,000 legitimately into something that was worth $50,000 or whatever the numbers were. He's right, but it got stopped due to a deed challenge. That's why the work didn't continue, was because we never got to that point. There's been a wet blanket due to the deed challenge. And what I was hoping to do was to address the board and let them know that both Don Mead and I are interested in not having the county pay our bill. We would like to avoid any type of a situation with a taxpayer, me being one of them, Donald being one of them, having to endure any more expense, because this has been 9 years of legal fees. A lot of people would look at the bills that you guys have had to pay to try to get this solved, where a lot of people would say that they were exorbitant bills, and we're not looking to add to that. But I do have that as part of my pay, and I'm curious, are you guys, what are you gonna do with this land? Are you gonna turn it into a marina? Is it gonna be a county marina? You know, am I gonna be able to tie my boat up there? You know, or are they gonna be able to take away what little I have to give by Kim Patterson and Bob Riddle, you know? Just curious as to what's gonna happen with this piece of property.
Mr. Conley had just suggested that there was a land conveyance to him from Mrs. Patterson to him in regards to the boat slip where the camping grounds is, where they put all those, I think they planted a few trees, but they also, I know the property well because I've walked it a million times through this. In back of the pump station, as you're going down, you go down the roadway, you run into the pump station, you can go around each side of the pump station, and then you can end up at the rear of the pump station. There's a land like almost like a peninsula that extends out into where the Mohawk is. And that's where he had this vision of a marina, where they said they conveyed you land to use that to put the boat or whatever. I think what you need to do is go to CSX because they own that property. We don't. That's not part of this. What you're talking about is CSX owned property. He never owned it.
Patterson never owned it.
Patterson never owned it, but it sounds like she did what the sewer district did 30 years ago, conveyed something that she couldn't convey.
Right, which leaves us in a situation where if there's, you know, Ken brought up the fact that if there's other land conveyances, a quitclaim deed is gonna leave, you know, that open. And I'm not gonna stop till I'm paid by these people, you know, I mean, undoubtedly.
I've been in great length. I've talked with the county executive about that property and what could possibly happen with that as a county entity. Right now, the pumping station is what we have. We're going to, through the settlement, end up with all the property. We had envisioned possibly doing something in the similar to other communities have, something that's lacking in Nelliston and Fort Plain. There isn't anything like that. For us to make that sort of a commitment on something, number one, that we don't own, we couldn't do, CSX property, but even to the other lands that we would own, it's just too early because we're not there yet.
Is it a thought?
It's definitely a thought. We've talked about, I'm not talking about, for the entire public's use.
Sure.
That's something that we would want, just like all the other boat slips that you see, but again, we're not there yet. I mean, we haven't
Sure.
even,
Yeah, no, I mean, I was looking for that answer. Is it a thought, might it ever come up? Because, I'm
There's
looking-
lines that run through there that are owned by the village of Fort Plain. Actually, one of the water lines runs underneath the building that does exist. And to go turn it off or something, you gotta get inside the building to do it. And the village of Nelliston has lines. The whole idea of us possibly gaining this property is so that we can once and for all do the right thing by those municipalities too, in regards to the conveyance of right-of-ways, which maybe comes at a, I don't know what it might cost them. But if they want those right-of-ways and deeds, maybe they're a contributor. It's all,
Yeah, I mean, and as a marina, he brought up the fact it's a $54,000 piece of property that you gotta pay $250 to get a hold of. But as a marina, it's probably worth quite a bit of money.
which I think was his vision. The restaurant that he talked about along the, it's all good thought, but he run into a roadblock.
Right, and that roadblock was Ken Ayers. But you gotta do what you gotta do, and I mean, I'm not gonna stop, like I said. I mean, I don't wanna fight with the county. I'd love for you guys to tell me, hey, listen, we'll open the discussion for that at some point, you know what I mean? Because I'd love it for it to be gone, because I think what's really gonna happen here is they're gonna ride off into the sunset with $250. Ken said he's not a very good businessman. I think he's pretty good. I just wanna tell you that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other? All right. Close the public comment and move along with the resolutions that are before us. The first resolution is Resolution 28, a resolution confirming appointment made by County Executive to the Montgomery County Ethics Board, Diamond and Wheeler. Can I get somebody to, a motion to table it since the person, Bob? Just withdraw?
Sponsorships.
Well, we can have the sponsorships withdrawn.
If you take
I'll
them back.
second. To the table.
To table?
Sure.
Sure. Or
Table or
withdraw?
withdraw.
Withdraw the sponsorship.
You'll withdraw
Yeah.
the sponsorship?
Yep.
Wait, what are we doing?
They withdrew
With your
sponsorship.
sponsor.
All right. All right. Next is a resolution authorizing the replacement of a county vehicle, Department of Social Services, Wheeler and Whites. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution amending the 2015 budget, 2014-15 Snowmobile Trails Grant and Aid Program Economic Development, Wheeler and Duchessis. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution amending the 2015 operating budget, Montgomery County Flood Mitigation Grant Program Award, Economic Development, sponsored by Duchessis and Beniac. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution amending Resolution 207 of 2014 and amending the 2015 operating budget, Public Defenders, Isabel and Whites. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution amending the 2015 operating budget carry forward grants funds SHSP 2013 emergency management, sponsored by Isabel and Wheeler. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution amending the 2015 operating budget 2013-14 statewide interoperable communications grant, emergency management, Isabel and Pertel. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution amending 2015 operating budget 2014 SHP Homeland Security Grant, emergency management. Isabel and Pertel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution awarding RFP number 9-14 and authorizing the county executive to sign agreement with Trinity Service Group, Inc., Sheriff. Isabel and Beniak. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign intermunicipal agreement with the city of Amsterdam. Isabel and Pertel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign agreement with Eastern Medical Support LLC. Isabel and Wheeler. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution establishing compensation for Montgomery County Sanitary District 1 board members, Pertel and Quackenbush. Discussion.
You know, we talked about this at the last meeting. At one time, the chairman of that district, I don't know if there was no pay for any of the members. And then at one time, there was the chairman, was paid $1,000 a year or something. And then there was a resolution passed that paid this chairman $10,000 a year. $10,000 a year. Right now, the current salary for the chairman is $5,000 a year. I'm the chairman this year. The resolution before you talks about $750 per calendar year for each member. Now, I told you what I thought about that board to begin with last time we met. That I don't know how we do it, and we wanted Doug to maybe look at it, but you know, it just shouldn't exist. It really shouldn't, and I know we can't battle that battle tonight or tackle it, but I think that this compensation right here, along with what the chairman gets, is just. I think you ought to really rethink it, and I wouldn't even mind tabling maybe to discuss it further. I don't know, it's up to you guys. I don't want to, I want you to discuss it, so I'm not going to ask to table it right now in case someone else has it, because that would eliminate debate.
The sanitary sewer district, while it's kind of something different, it's unique in how it's set up, it is an administrative unit, and per our charter, we can create, change, alter, and abolish administrative units. And the reason I say that is it would be very simple, I believe, and I don't think anything would be different given the fact that it's a district, but that we could pass a local law, or what I would say in that case is we could include it in a revised charter to charter a sanitary sewer district department, if you will, that would be, there would be a director or somebody that was running that.
You have a superintendent now.
Have a superintendent.
You have that now.
Okay, so you would have a charter department with the superintendent, and that superintendent would report to the executive and the legislature like any other department. We could, I need the board. And then you could eliminate the board.
And Ryan, that falls into, if I could, what we've been talking about, consolidation and eliminating these 10,000 municipalities in New York State. Well, there's one you can pick at right there that would go at your, I don't know how to do it, but to me, it's,
Is there any more debt service on
the debt service was paid off, the ad valorem tax that was on there was paid off, and I think a small one recreated 2 or 3 years later, which I don't, you'd have to look. But again, that board will make a decision that they think they're making, and it always ends up back here.
Yes.
It's just, you're paying me $5,000 a
serve the purpose and needing the county to form it. The county doesn't serve any more purpose for that. It's the people who actually are hooked up to the sewer. So, you know, this is a prime example of why we shouldn't be involved. And that would be my thoughts.
I totally agree with legislator Diamond. I think we should have the county attorney start researching that and totally remove the county from it. Definitely.
All right, any other discussion on the resolution?
I'll make a motion to table it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion. All right. Next is a resolution. Next is a resolution authorizing county executive to sign Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Intermunicipal Memorandum of Understanding. Kelly and Patel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution amending the 2015 operating budget, workers' compensation, Wheeler and Whites. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution appointing member to the audit committee, Kelly and Wheeler. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution amending the 2015 operating budget snow contracts, Wheeler and Whites. Discussion.
Just like to report that the County Roads Committee to investigate how we pay these contracts as well as any potential implementation of the shared road study met yesterday and had a really productive meeting where we got quite a bit done. So there will be a quarterly report coming out at the end of the first quarter to report on that once we get some more things finalized, but moving forward, notifications will be sent out from the legislative clerk. So if anybody, you know, they're open to everybody. So as that moves forward, please keep an eye out for that. But we're making good progress already, which I'm excited about.
Any other discussion?
Do we receive meeting notices? Can we attend?
The committee, how it was set up, it's kind of like how when the health trust was set up. It's open to anybody, but we can you know, who it's sent to, it's just an open meeting. So this was an organizational meeting, but moving forward, we can CC. I could ask that Cheryl CC the entire legislature when that meeting notice is sent out.
Appreciate that courtesy.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution approving abstract of audit claims, Kelly and Patel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried.